Mamelodi Sundowns advanced to the CAF Champions League round of 16 and Kaizer Chiefs go crashing out of the Confed Cup from being number one to being number three. Welcome to the Soccer Huddle. This is your boy. Like, guys, I don't know what to say, man. But let's start with Mamelodi Sundowns before we go to Kaizer Chiefs. I said here last week, and I said to you guys that me, Sundowns, they will go through. They've got the experience. They've just got the edge, and they showed that on Saturday. And they played one of their best games for me in like for a while. I would never in a while, and they showed why they are African champions. Or yeah, they showed why they were African champions. They showed why they're one of the African giants in this time and age, and you could see from the experience. We thought maybe Alende missing in the middle of the park would actually derive them. I thought the also the partnership Yakekana and is in Ndamane on Ndamane. I thought maybe RHULANI would use that to his advantage, but they remain solid, and then they got a clean sheet. And Saleh is a 10. I think he's really working out Mamelodi Sundowns, because if you look at him when he first joined them, they were using him as a striker, and then he went to the side on the wing and and as a 10, and I think it works well for him. I think for me, those are his best positions, especially for Mamelodi Sundowns. And Leon, what can we say? He continues to score. He continues to deliver on Mamelodi Sundowns colours, and he won them that game. And you can see the pedigree of Mamelodi Sundowns. You still have Bobo Peter Shello on the bench. You still have like one of the best players in the PSL, Tambazwana, on the bench, coming on as well, working his magic as well on the pitch. And I don't think it looked out. I don't think it was ever in doubt that Mamelodi Sundowns were going to win that game. And I said, Hore, for me, my team Kyoren Warisa, and I was right. And I was right. So congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns. They qualify as a second team in the league. But my biggest concern with Mamelodi Sundowns is not is this constant Yabona Hore, they leave it to the last 2-3 games. I think the last season sorry about that. Sorry. I think last season it was down to the last two games, if I'm not mistaken. I think they need to just guys. It's Mamelodi Sundowns. They need to qualify. They don't need to wait for the last two games of the group stages to qualify. They need to be dominant in their league. They need to be dominant in Africa and also in the PSL as well. Because I think for the thing that we cry about, go Kakotos. If you look at his record, it's not bad, to be honest. It is not bad, but the thing that we cry about is the consistency and the deep in form in Mamelodi Sundowns. The way we used to know Mamelodi Sundowns, it was a team that would dominate teams. It was a team that would win with high margins of score, win games that were unwinnable, but they would find the will to win. But because also there's games where you felt like you could have done more. There's games where you felt like, come on, what is this? What are we playing? And that is what I think most of Mamelodi Sundowns supporters are crying for. You've got the personnel, but you're not using them to the best ability. So I think that is the one part that in his game, Kodoso, he needs to fix. He needs to start dominating teams. He needs to start dominating as we know Mamelodi Sundowns is. So yeah, I think kudos to Mamelodi Sundowns for making it out. They the last team in South Africa to represent us in Africa. And yeah, we come to my team. Before we come to my team, let us know, my listeners supporters. What do you think? What did you make of the performance at the boys of the team on Saturday against their former mentor RHULANI? And is it something that you would like to see going forward? Am I making sense when I say I'm expecting Mamelodi Sundowns, or I need Mamelodi Sundowns to start dominating teams, to start dominating possession of the ball, to start being Mamelodi Sundowns that we know and fear over the years? Yeah, Kore Lambola Lilina, you could just tell in my face that I am disappointed. I am angry. Kore, I do not understand what went wrong. I said I've got a fear that we're gonna go to Egypt and park the bus, and I was right. I was right, and I said it is the wrong mentality to have. You cannot go and park the bus for 90 minutes. When Nabi left, a lot of people said, "Yeah, it's the right thing." I said, "Guys, okay, Nabi must leave, but he must leave with his people. Because what are we doing? if we're leaving these people. And the people were like, no, Mojere, look, they're winning. And I said, guys, how long are we going to sustain this? And I've been saying this, and I know people might say, but Mojere, you're a hypocrite, you were winning, you were celebrating. Yes, I was celebrating our wins. I have to. It's my team. But also, I had concerns of how we won games. I said countless times, and I said, this thing here where we win, we score one goal, we defend, is not sustainable. We will not get far with it. Like, we had 13, I think it was 13 consecutive clean sheets. But you look at how we were playing, we scored and we packed the bus. And when it comes to games like in Africa, you cannot do that. You just cannot do that. And to make matters worse, we put on a team that hasn't played together. We put on a team that I honestly don't think, or I don't honestly don't know what the two coaches were doing. Maybe Coach Ben and the Coach Kaizer can come and explain to us what is it that we're trying to do. You put Matlo in a team where Matlo hasn't been playing. You put Marco in a team that Marco hasn't been playing. You put Simango in a team that he hasn't been playing. You start a new centre-back partnership in one of our crucial games. They sacrificed the Nedbank Cup for this. For this. I seriously do not understand. We had so much talent on the bench. So much you know what? Okay, let me just put it let me just put it nicely, okay? I did not have a problem with them going and defending. They played the cautious time. They played it safe. Fine. Like we all know in Africa is our style situation, and fine, we get it. But as soon as Zamalek scored the first goal, I expected them to react. I expected them to show that they needed this more, because we knew a draw is enough, but we knew we couldn't afford to lose the game. I think Chiefs were depending on Zesco to beat Al Masiri. I think that's what they thought. They thought, no, or Bobotsara draw, or they're going to beat him. Because, like, you look at the first goal, they did not react. The second goal, they did not react. They only reacted like 20 minutes after the two goals. Like, our left-hand side was dreadful. Our left-hand side was dreadful. Even when they reacted, I can argue with anyone today. Those substitutions did not make sense at all. Okay, let me not say they don't make sense. They did not have any impact on the game. Those substitutions they made. But Serino was even worse. Serino, look, I believe they put Serino in to create chances for us to hold the ball better. But he did the opposite. He lost balls. He was making silly fouls. Like, yo, guys, Jesus. You can tell that I'm frustrated. But now the question remains. Now, is this what we want Kaizer Chiefs to be? Two co-coaches, interim co-coaches, doing the same mistake. They cost us the Nedbank Cup. They cost us the Carling Black Label Cup. Now we're out of the CAF. What's left now? The league. Do you think we can compete? Sundowns and Pirates. Do you think we can compete? Do you think we can go toe-to-toe with Mamelodi Sundowns and London Pirates? Let's be realistic, guys. Let's be realistic. We've got the squad, but we don't have the brains. We don't have the leaders, the mentors on the bench to take us there. If we had, we wouldn't be out of the Nedbank Cup. We wouldn't be out of the CAF. It's as simple as that. We started off the day number 1 in pole position. We just needed a draw. That's a draw. We failed to do that. In the game before, and I said this, that gave me Al Masiri. We just needed to score one last goal. We couldn't even score that goal. We were like happy we scored. We just defend. And I think that's the problem. And I think that's what most of us as Kaizer Chiefs supporters are frustrated with. Is that we've got two coaches who are so obsessed with defensive football. Whereas we've got so much talent on the bench that are attack-minded people. You look at Modi on Saturday. Gone. I've been crying Kapule Modi. And you look at Silva. Pap. You look at Lulepo. God. And look, I'm not blaming the 3 forwards because we were defensive wise. We're losing ball. You know the weird part is Brandon Peterson would just okay, let's say a shooter or they do something, and Brandon Peterson will be in position of the ball, but he wouldn't know what to do with it because all our players are here. They're defending while we also have the ball. They're here, like opposite man. No one is making runs. No one is making runs. No one is calling the like. I don't know what they were thinking, and I don't like to a certain length you can blame players, but you also like what was the tactics on the day? Were they told to just sit back, relax, let them come to you, guys? Even if when you're playing a low block or when you're parking the bus, to keep your your opposition on their toes, you just need one or two players to make runs behind. Like counter them one or twice. Just to make them on the toes. Not to leave them. Because if you don't attack them, they're gonna bring everyone forward. Now, to make them more cautious, you just send one, you say, Lilepo, run. Modi, run. Like we didn't even use Silva because Silva is good at holding ball. We didn't even use him. But he was there. Why was he there? Why did we start him if we were not gonna play him? Like, we should have just put him on the bench, put maybe Mayo or Mduduzi or Velabayo just to have that pace there, just to worry their defense. Our midfield was a mess because it was just a gap there. Maybe Nagi wanna maybe I'm here complaining and like, guys, let me know what you think. We are left to the league. Yeah, I do not have hope. What's next? I think that's the biggest question. What's next? Let me know in the comment sections. What do you think went wrong on Saturday? What? Because now there's no need to cry over spilled milk. It's done. It's done. What's the way forward? Let me know of your comment already. What is it that you want from Kaizer Chiefs this season? Can we compete for the league? Do you guys really believe that we can compete for the league? Because me, I don't think we can. So, yeah. Remember to like, share, and subscribe and follow. Arnege Zaga, we just want, yeah. And until we meet again, remember, I'm a Kosi. And the big one on Wednesday has been moved. Thank God. The big one has been moved from Orlando Amsterdam Arena to the FNB Stadium. Let's go watch. Let's go in numbers and go film FNB Stadium. Mamelodi Sundowns against Orlando Pirates. A potential title decider on Wednesday. Until we meet again, remember, prevention is better than cure. Don't risk it unless it's worth it. Makosi, I'm a